What's going on, YouTube? In this video I'm going to be talking about home security. You know, throughout maybe the past year or two, I've built up quite a collection of electronics that, in all honesty, it's very valuable, and I'd hate to see, somebody break in my house and rob me. So I installed a security system, and I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough of what I installed, because maybe if one of you guys is interested in installing a security system, maybe this video will help you in making your decision on what kind of cameras to buy. Now, this took me about a week to set up, just because I'm very busy with work, but I'll do the rundown on how I have everything configured, and maybe the same thing will work for you. What you're looking at right now is my server, which, as you can see, I have 3 security cameras around my house. My cable modem comes in, where is it? It's right down there. And that goes to my Netgear N600 router. Now, in order to configure my security system properly, I actually needed additional N600 routers to work as access points, because some of the cameras that I have, they're all made by D-Link, 2 of which are wireless, and 1 is power over Ethernet. It's not wireless. So I needed a total of 3 access points. I'm actually not using the one right now, so 2 are hooked up. And to set up an access point, I can get into that in another video, but for now I'm just going to go over how the cameras are communicating with the router and how I set up the server, and how it sends me email alerts when it detects motion, and how it records. I have a 1 terabyte hard drive that'll back up video on 3 cameras for up to 2 weeks straight, 24 hours a day. So let me show you my cameras. Just follow me. That third access point that I was talking about that's not being used is actually being used by the smart television, but it's not being used by the security cameras themselves. The first camera that I have is the D-Link DCS 2132. This retails for $229. It is wireless, however, I have an Ethernet cable going to it, just because when I run wireless, even if I set a dynamic IP address, it still knocks off, and it's hard to get the connection back, even through WPS. It's just, it seems like it's more than a headache than anything. So I ran an Ethernet cable, connected it, and since I did that, I don't have any problems at all. Now, you're probably wondering why I have the access points. I'll get into that when I go upstairs to show you. My other camera that I have, this is the most expensive one. It's not wireless. It's the D-Link, I believe it's the 2300. It's an outdoor camera. It's completely protected from weather. It's waterproof. And this is the PoE. It's power over Ethernet, so you don't have to worry about connecting a power cable to it, as long as your switch or router supports PoE. Mine right now doesn't, so I am running the power cable to it. In the future, I am going to be upgrading my switch to a PoE switch. That way I don't have to run the power cord out the window. The next camera that I have, which monitors the side of the house, this is the cheapest one yet. It's made by D-Link, just like my other 2. This is the 932. This is a wireless camera, but as you can see, I'm running Ethernet to it, just because the Ethernet, it's more of a reliable connection. You don't have to worry about it dropping offline, especially if you're not going to be home for say a week. You don't want to take that chance of your camera going offline, and then say somebody breaks in your house, you get home and you want to go back to watch the footage, you'll find out that it's not there because your camera went offline and couldn't regain connection. So those are the 3 cameras that I have on the outside of my house. The DCS 932 is up there, the DCS 2300, and the DCS 2132 over here. Both the 2300 and the 2132 support a micro SD slot in case you don't have a server set up or you don't have network storage. Let me see. Right there on the side you can see is the slot for a micro SD. In the beginning I was running one and it will record video. You can record up to a couple weeks of footage provided you have like a 64 gigabyte card. So let's go upstairs and I'll show you how the cameras are connected. Sorry for the low light condition, guys. Alright. Now here is the other N600 that's acting as an access point. This communicates wirelessly to the main router downstairs. You can go into the configurations and set it up as an access point. You just put in the MAC address and follow the steps, reboot the device, and it acts as almost like a range extender. Never drops connection. The connection is always good. Now, right out here is the 2300, the DCS 2300. I have the green Ethernet cable going out to it. It's the green Ethernet cable and the power cable. The second Ethernet cable that you see runs down the house and to the 2100. So both of those are connected through Ethernet. The 932 over here, that is also going through the Ethernet. I ran the Ethernet cable. This is all a mess right now. The wires are all going to be tucked soon, and you won't see any of this, but it's a work in progress. I've been working on it for about the past week. Now, I have the 932 here, the 2300 here, and the 2132 here. They're all going to this access point, which communicates to the main router downstairs, which connects to my server. Now let's go check that out. Okay, now this is the main router right here, which communicates with the other two access points. Only one of the other access points is actually being used for the cameras. Now I'm using DViewCam. It's a program developed by D-Link. And as you can, let me see if you can see this. Okay, I have about 922 gigabytes free. I just put this terabyte drive in today. Now when you install the DViewCam, you go into the system settings, click on the camera tab on top, and you're going to want to search for the cameras. As long as they have the same subnet mask and they're on the network, your DViewCam program should pick them up when you do search. If it doesn't, you're going to have to insert it manually by clicking this. What you're going to want to do to find out your IP address is just go to log into your router. Most of the time it's your internal IP address is 192.168.0.1 or 192.168.1.1, and that will log you into your router, and then you can click on your attached devices and you can see which camera has what IP address, and then you click on insert, add the IP address, punch in the username and password for the camera, and then you hit OK, and then it will pull it up. Now I can access this from any computer. What you have to do is on your router, you have to go in and set up port forwarding. Now when you log into your router, mine is .1.1. Under the port forwarding, you have to forward a couple ports, because when you're outside of your network, you're going to need your external, your WAN IP address. So just go to Google and type in "what's my IP." And you will have your, it'll display your IP address. That will get you as far as your router. And then once you hit your router, it's up to your router to forward you to the proper port. So here under the HTTP, port 80 is the default web browsing port. I'm having that forwarded to my server, which is 192.168.1.2. Now, as far as the DViewCam program, that is port 800. So that is being forwarded to another internal IP address, which is 192.168.1.10. And to do the live streaming, that's also forwarded to the server. And the playback, you have to open the certain ports. For the streaming, it's port 5150, and for the playback, it's 5160. So if I go to another computer and I open up a browser, say I'm at work right now, I'm not home, I'll type in my WAN IP address. It's not going to begin with 192. 192 was an internal IP address. So I'm going to type in the 69, well, whatever IP address is yours. When you go to "what's my IP," it'll tell you. And then you're going to put a colon and put the port. You put the port of what you set it as in the DViewCam program. In the DViewCam program, when you click on the tools and you go to network service, you can set your ports of what port you want to utilize to communicate with this program. I have mine set for port 800. So when I type in my WAN IP address, port 800, and hit enter, it pulls up the remote live viewer and the remote playback. Now, DViewCam is only compatible with Internet Explorer, so let me open up Internet Explorer. And then you have to log in. You set up your username and password when you install the program. Okay, and once you successfully log in, it's going to list your cameras right on the right here. And this is probably the best way to do a home security system. For all three cameras, my investment was probably about $500. The terabyte drive cost me another $100. And the server, which you can basically use any computer, preferably Windows 7, as long as you have enough memory. This is running, it's 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a super fast processor in it, and it's only really running DViewCam on it. If I was to lose power and the thing booted back up, I have it set to automatically start the DViewCam, automatically log me in, and to lock the program so nobody can access it without the password. So the DViewCam is available for download on the D-Link website. Now, the DViewCam is compatible with other cameras besides D-Link. If you get a camera and it says it's ONVIF compatible, that means you can use it in the DViewCam. The ONVIF basically enables you to use third-party programs to communicate with it. Some of the newer D-Link cameras, the DView cam doesn't recognize, so you actually have to install them as a on-VIF camera. Like my 2300 right here, this is actually set up as an on-VIF camera. You can still utilize it the same way. And one thing that before I started this whole thing with the server, I was basically managing my security system from the firmware that was built into the cameras. Each D-Link camera has their own firmware that's built in, and I'll show you what that looks like right here. This is the firmware. I'm connected to the 2132 right now. You can go into your setup and you can set up events. Events is basically if it detects motion, that triggers an event. And with that trigger, you can have it either record it to your SD card, you can have it send an email, or you can record it on network storage. I don't have any of those set up right now. In the beginning I did because I didn't have my server with the drive. Now all that is manageable through the DView cam. What you do is you click on your smart guard system down here, and these are all my events and triggers. The front door camera right here. The event is motion followed by the action of sending an email. And you can put in any email address you want. You just have to configure the SMTP server, put in the correct port. In my case, I use Gmail. You can either use the secure port 465, or you can do the TSL, which is port 587, if I'm not mistaken. One of those two will work if you try both of them. You can send a test email, make sure that you get it. You just check, and if it's there, you can just leave it and go to your next camera and set it up the same exact way. On the two front cameras that I have, the 2132 and the 2300, you have a digital output as well, where if I was to see somebody at the door right here, I can actually go to the the input output control panel, and I can hold down the output and I can speak into the microphone, and I would be able to talk to the person that is on my porch. I don't see myself using it that much. This is basically just to monitor what's going on when I'm not home, or if somebody was to come by, I could rewind the footage. Now, I'll show you how you do that. You just click on it looks like a videotape down here. You click on that, and this brings you to the playback screen. Now, you click on, in the red right here is where it's been recorded. Now, since this terabyte drive was just put in, it's only read for a short period of time, maybe a couple hours. Let's see. Let me see if okay. So you can highlight the area that you want to play, and you hit OK. And it's going to search for the data, and it's going to play. So this footage was recorded a couple hours ago. You can speed up the process down here. As you can see, it's definitely very clear. It's not even set on high definition right now. It's set to 640 by 480. It does record up to 720p on both the 2300 and the 2132. So clarity it's not an issue. It records very clear. It's very consistent. And with the terabyte drive, you can run 3 cameras and record up to 2 weeks straight, 24 hours a day on each camera. So that's basically it. If you were to go out and you needed to buy the router, you're going to need at least one of them, provided you have enough Cat 6 cable or even Cat 5 cable to plug into this. You can try to use it wirelessly, but I didn't have much luck with that. Maybe that's because I have a lot of walls in my house, but I figured it was better just to use the Ethernet cable, go out, get a second router, set it up as an access point, plug directly into it. And these were about $100 each. I have 3 of them. So say you only need one, so it's $100, and then about $500 for the cameras, about $600, and then the drive, $700. You can record on your hard drive, provided you have a big enough hard drive. You can record onto your internal hard drive. I prefer using the external, just so that way it doesn't interfere with anything I got going on the computer. The program doesn't actually use much resources. You can let it run in the background. It's very nice. I love it. I love the email alerts that I get. As soon as it detects motion, it kicks me out an email. And I registered a separate Gmail account. I titled it something specific I would know that has to do with security at gmail.com. And when that comes to my phone, I see that it's on that email address, so I know there's been motion somewhere within my house. And I have the photo to see what was going on. And no matter what computer I'm at, I could always remotely view a live feed or playback. And it's also compatible on Android or iPad. You can download the My D-Link Lite app, or you can download DViewCam and install that on your phone or tablet. And if you don't want to download an app, you can just go to your IP address and log in remotely, and you can view them all the same way that I was doing over here. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions about the security systems, I'd be more than happy to help. Just leave a comment below. Just shoot me a question. I'll do my best to answer it. I'm fairly new at this whole thing. I've been doing it for about a week, but in that week I did learn a lot. So maybe I can help. If you have a question, maybe I can help. That's all I can say. So thank you for watching my video. I definitely appreciate it. And until next time, you guys have a great day.